The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we're running some early morning errands here in South Florida before we go do our live fight reaction later, but recently, we got some news in the boxing world. We got some news. You know, our main man, Triple G, Gennday Golovkin, you know, they announced the next fight. It's actually going to be right up the road. I'm in North Miami. That fight's in Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood, Florida, for those of you who don't know, is the neighboring city of Dania, Florida, my hometown. So basically, Triple G's basically fighting in my hometown. And he's fighting at the Hard Rock Casino, which has been the bubble. It's been the epicenter for pretty much all of Matchroom Boxing USA's shows since the coronavirus, you know, pandemic happened and whatnot. It's gonna be their third show. And as for the fight itself, you know, Gennday Golovkin is gonna fight Kamil Schmerta, who I've seen fight one time. He fought on the Golovkin-Derevyanchenko undercard. He got a real amateur style, not a lot of punching power. From what I saw, unless Golovkin is so past it and he's so far gone, from what I've seen from Kamil Schmerta, the limited I've seen of him, and looking at his box rec and everything I know about him, you know, it looks like the perfect opponent for Gennday Golovkin to look good against, to where that if he gets a sensational knockout, a highlight reel knockout, if you will, that he will basically, people will start clamoring for a Canelo fight if he gets a knockout. That seems to be the strategy. You know, I believe he's mandatory or whatnot. Make of it what you will. I'm not too gassed about the fight because at this stage of his career, when you're talking about a fighter, a great talent like Triple G, a great fighter like Gennday Golovkin, you know, we want to see you in fights that are going to take you forward, not stagnate you or take you back, because the reality is this in boxing, and it doesn't matter if you're an established superstar or not, or if you're a prospect. If you stagnate in the sport, then you're going backwards. You know, stagnating or taking fights that are doing nothing for you to push you forward are pushing you backwards, and that's how I've always looked at the sport of boxing and how you move a fighter. That's my manager's mind. Even though I'm not a boxing manager, I think I would have been a great boxing manager, because that's my manager's mind speaking. But with that being said, I just want to say this about Gennday Golovkin, okay? At this stage of his career, if you're going to be taking fights against guys like Kamil Schmerta, and you're going to base your entire boxing career's existence on a third Canelo fight, then I think it's time to hang him up. I think it's time to hang them up. Not because you can't fight, not because you can't get it done anymore, but because within your heart of hearts and within your soul of souls, you're not showing that ambition. You're not showing that warrior spirit to want to fight the best. You've reached that point in your career where you're strictly a businessman, and it's clearly only about the money. Now, there's nothing wrong with a fighter being about the money, because at the end of the day, it is prize fighting. The prize does come first, and you know, when the lights are off and the cameras are no longer in your face as much as they were during the prime of your career, you know, you gotta make a life for yourself. You gotta be able to pay your own bills and take care of yourself in this cold world, because nobody is gonna give you nothing. So I understand why fighters prioritize money. It is prize fighting. I don't knock fighters for wanting to go out there and get it how they live and make their living. But when that becomes all it's about, you've already lost. You're already semi-retired, because at the end of the day, this is still a sport. You're still a sportsman. You're still a competitor. You're still a fighter. And once you lose that competitive edge to want to fight the best, to want to stake your claim as one of the top guys in your division in those significant fights that will actually get you money, respect. Maybe not as much as the Canelo fight, but they'll still keep you relevant. They'll still keep you in position to get a Canelo fight if you beat these guys, and it'll give you more notoriety, more respect amongst the boxing fans, which is, if I was a fighter, you know, you can't always go by the opinions and the validation of boxing fans, because that's like this, but you know, they are the ones who do pay their hard-earned money to watch you fight. They are the ones that pay subscriptions to watch the zone. They are the ones that do buy your merchandise and basically fuel your career. Without the fans, there is no fighters, there is no sport, there is no boxing, there's nothing. So I feel like Gennday Golovkin, Triple G, he needs to stop making his whole career on the existence of Canelo, because there's other significant fights out there for him that people like myself want to see, and people watch my channel. I got 32,000 subscribers at the time of making this video. I'm sure within that 32,000 subscribers, there's plenty of other fighters, people would like to see Gennady Golovkin step in that ring with, like Demetrius Boo Andre. That's a fight that I would love to see Golovkin in, because he'd be challenged. He'd be in there with a guy who's hungry to be in a signature fight against a guy like Gennady Golovkin, who is a marquee name in the middleweight division. Tall, rangy, slick, southpaw style. It's honestly, on paper, it looks like a nightmare matchup for Golovkin. If he was able to knock a guy like that out and beat him, I would actually consider it the best win of his career, in my opinion. And that would take him, in my mind, to another level. So you got that. You got him. You got Jermall Charlo, who's been calling you out to fight, and he's a young middleweight on the rise at 160. You got the Derry Ivanchenko rematch, which a lot of people thought you lost, including myself. That's another fight, and people would love to see that fight, because Derry Ivanchenko always comes to fight, and he always gives the fans a good show. So why not make that fight? There's like Jaime Munguia. Yeah, fuck it, Jaime Munguia. You talk about Mexican style, all this, you used to be about Mexican style. Why not fight a guy with Mexican style who's got a big fan base? Fight him in Texas, That could be a good fight for you. There's so many options out there for Triple G, but we see him continuously fixated on the idea of fighting Canelo a third time. And look, you're not going to get a fair decision against Canelo. You're not. You're not going to get a fair decision against Canelo Alvarez in any way, shape, or form. If you win 9 rounds, you're going to lose. If you win 10 rounds, you're going to lose. Shit, if you win 11 rounds, you're going to lose. That's just how the boxing game is set up. And is it right? No, it's wrong. It's a travesty. It's a disgrace to the sport, and that's why I don't like Canelo. And I think the real boxing fans know that at bare minimum, you at least won the first fight, if not both. So leave Canelo alone, okay? Let his career play out. If you guys organically are just beating people and you meet up, then great. But don't make your career about him. If you're going to stay in this sport and you're going to reign towards the top of that division as one of the division's most accomplished fighters, one of the sport's most accomplished amateurs of all time, and still try to write a beautiful story to the back half of your career, then do it fighting guys like Demetrius Andre. Do it fighting guys like Jermall Charlo. Don't give us Camille Schmerta and then talk about Canelo over and over again and expect boxing fans to be okay with it, because we're not okay with it. We're not okay with it, Triple G. And I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in this fight. Not that it's surprising, because this fight's been talked about for a while. But I'm very disappointed in the trajectory of what your career has become. Because you were a guy that at one point in time looked like he was on his way to becoming, undoubtedly, you had a great middleweight title reign, and there's an argument to be made that you might be one of the better middleweights of all time. But I'm talking about, there was a point in time where it was looking like you were gonna go down as, top 5 middleweight, dead or alive type stuff. That's what I thought. But now, because of you making your whole career about Canelo and not wanting to fight other guys like Demetrius Andre and Jermall Charlo and giving Derry Ivanchenko a rematch, and you fighting Camille Schmerta, I can't fuck with that. And hopefully, I've heard some rumblings that Gennady Golovkin might be training at a local gym through some people in South Florida. So maybe I could sit down with Golovkin and get some better understanding as to why his career has taken the direction it's taken. And that'd be great. I love to meet Triple G again. I met him once in 2016 at the WBC convention. It was a very brief interaction. He no way in hell he remembers who I am. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Triple G. December the 18th, Camille Schmerta, Hollywood, Florida, Seminole Hard Rock Casino. That's where he's at. So you guys make of that what you will. Let me know what you guys think about this fight with Camille Schmerta and just the overall direction of Gennady Golovkin's career. I'd be very interested to hear what the boxing fans got to say about that. So leave your comments down below. Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.